There is no more time left. Do not scroll. Do not close this. Do not move on to something else as if what you are holding right now is ordinary content that can be revisited later. It cannot. What you are holding is a message that had to fight to reach your hands. And if you turn away before hearing all of it, you may miss the one announcement that was specifically prepared to change the trajectory of your life tonight. Archangel Michael is standing before you right now with tears in his eyes. He is not sad. His tears are the tears of someone who has been carrying something precious for a very long time and has finally been given permission to deliver it. He has been holding a scroll, a divine scroll with your name inscribed on its outer surface in golden light. Not ink that fades, not writing that can be crossed out or altered. Light that was placed there before you took your first breath, before you spoke your first word, before you understood what the word destiny meant, or that you had one. That scroll is beginning to open. As you read these words, Michael is unrolling it carefully, deliberately, with the specific reverence that belongs to a moment this significant. The words inside are yours. The promises inside were written for you. The breakthrough inside has been preserved and protected across every season of your life when it seemed like nothing was moving. When it seemed like every door was closing, when it seemed like heaven had gone silent. None of that was silence. All of it was preparation, and the preparation is complete. Your name is ringing in heaven right now. Something so powerful is happening that it is making the angels stand in awe. Heaven is looking down at you with a specific quality of attention that is reserved for moments like this one. Moments when what was held in divine suspension finally breaks through into the visible world. This is that moment. And it belongs to you, that strange feeling in your chest right now. That is not random. That is your spirit recognizing what heaven is releasing before your mind can process it. Your soul already knows what is coming. It has been waiting for this message for longer than you realize. It is what made you slow down, what made you look, what would not let you scroll past. Pay attention. Every second you stay, something is shifting in your favor. Every word you receive, something that was holding you back is being removed. This is real. This is now, and this is yours. Press like on this message right now as your first act of faith. Not for a channel, as a spiritual declaration that you recognize what heaven is releasing over your life and that you are choosing to receive it. Let the like be your yes. Then go to the comments and type this word. Amen. Write it as a seal on your spirit. A promise to heaven that you are not just hoping for this miracle, but are fully ready to receive it. Write it with your whole heart. Heaven hears every letter before I take you deeper into what is written on the scroll and what the massive miracle arriving in your life actually contains. I want to speak to you plainly. This channel and this ministry exist for one reason: to reach the person that heaven has appointed. At the exact hour their breakthrough is being released, with the specific word that keeps them from missing what was always meant for their hands. This mission runs entirely on the support of people who received something real here and chose to give back. Please know that every seed you plant in this work grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. If something in those opening words already stirred a recognition in you, please support this mission through the link in the pinned comment below. Your giving is not a donation to a channel. It is an act of spiritual obedience that opens something in your own heavens. Give and it shall be given to you is not history. It is a living promise shaping your future. The link is pinned. Give from wherever your heart says yes. Now let me show you what is written in your scroll. My beloved, my child. Let me describe to you exactly what Archangel Michael is holding. The scroll in his hands is not a religious symbol or a piece of metaphorical imagery. It is a real divine record that was created for your life specifically. Your name, written in golden light that does not fade, appears on the outside. And what is written inside represents everything that was designated for you, designed for you, and protected for you, across every season of your life, including the ones that felt the most like abandonment. The scroll has been sealed for a very long time. Not because you were unworthy of what it contained, because the season for its release had not yet arrived. Heaven does not release what was designated for a life before the conditions are in place to receive it properly, to hold it without it breaking, to steward it without it being taken, to carry it without being crushed by its weight before it can produce what it was designed. To produce the waiting was not punishment. The waiting was calibration, and now, tonight, the conditions are in place. The seal is breaking. And what has been preserved inside that scroll is beginning to move toward the visible dimension of your life with a speed and a precision that will leave you looking back at this moment, at this exact hour, and saying, that is when it changed. That is when everything shifted. That is when heaven opened what had been held in place for so long. What is written in your scroll? Let me tell you what Michael allowed me to see. There is financial restoration, not the slow, incremental improvement of someone gradually climbing out of a difficult season. The specific, divinely orchestrated movement of resources toward your hands from directions you were not watching, in forms you were not expecting, at a speed that does not match the logic of your current circumstances. The kind of financial movement that has no ordinary explanation, that makes people around you look at your situation and say, something happened there that I cannot account for with natural means. That is what restoration looks like when it comes directly from the scroll. There is peace. The specific kind of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances being resolved, or on uncertainty being eliminated. The peace that is described as passing all understanding. The peace that arrives and holds its ground inside you, even when the surrounding situation has not yet fully transformed. That peace is written in your scroll, with your name on it. It was never meant to be kept from you. It was waiting for the hour when you would be in a position to receive it without the interference of the specific conditions that were delaying its delivery. There is a breakthrough in the specific area of your life that has felt the most frozen, the most stuck, the most resistant to every effort you have made to move it. You know the area I am referring to, the one you have prayed about the most, the one that has created the most confusion, the most discouragement, the most quiet wondering about whether things were ever going to shift. That is the area where the scroll speaks the most urgently. That is the area where heaven has the most specific plan. And that plan is now in motion. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications. The breakthrough being released is not a single moment. It is a sequence. And each moment in the sequence will have its own specific word, its own specific instruction, its own specific confirmation. Stay connected to the voice that was designated to carry those messages to you as they arrive. Subscribe now and stay in the stream. Go to the comments and write. My path is clear. Let every letter be a stone removed from your way. Let every word you type be a door opening in the spirit. Your declaration does not ask for permission. It is announcing what heaven has already decided is true. My child, my beloved. There is something else happening simultaneously with the opening of the scroll. Something that Archangel Michael has been working on around your life in the hours and moments leading up to this exact message reaching your eyes. His sword has been drawn. I need you to understand what that means in practical, real terms, rather than in abstract spiritual language. When Michael draws his sword in connection with a specific life, it is not for combat in the way that word is usually understood. It is for clearing, for the specific, surgical removal of everything that was placed in the path of what was meant to reach you. Fears that were not yours originally, but that were deposited in you by voices and experiences that had no authority to put them there. Doubts that became habitual, not because they were accurate, but because they were repeated enough times to feel like truth. Interference that operated in the spiritual atmosphere around your path, slowing down what was meant to move, blocking what was meant to arrive, creating confusion where clarity was supposed to be. Every single one of those things is being cut away right now. As you stay here, as you continue reading rather than scrolling away, Michael's sword is working. It touches your name, and something that was holding you back dissolves. It moves through the atmosphere surrounding your situation, and what was creating resistance loses its purchase. The things that have been stopping you from moving forward, the invisible walls that you have felt but could not identify, are coming down. The divine countdown is beginning, and what it is counting down toward is not some vague improvement in your general circumstances. It is the specific release of what has been in the scroll all along. The specific breakthrough that belongs to the specific name that Michael called out. Your name, everything that has been redirected away from you. Every resource that was meant to reach your hands and was intercepted. Every opportunity that was created for your path and was blocked before it could materialize is now being rerouted. The interference is being cut through. The channels are being opened, and what was held back is now finding its way forward. Your money is going to get better. The specific financial area that has been the source of the most stress and the most silence is about to experience a movement that does not come from any strategy you implemented or any door you knocked on. It comes from the specific divine response to everything Michael has been clearing. Your peace is going to get better, not in the distant future, in the days that follow this moment. The anxiety that has been the background noise of your daily experience, the specific kind of low-level tension that has no single identifiable source but that is always present, is going to begin to lift. Not because your circumstances will all resolve simultaneously, because the spiritual interference that was generating it has been severed. Your future is going to get better. The specific shape of your future, the one that is written in the scroll with your name on it, is going to become increasingly visible and increasingly accessible as the clearing proceeds. The path that was blocked is being opened. The doors that were shut are beginning to shake, and the version of your life that was always supposed to exist is stepping out of the spiritual dimension and into the physical one. I want to pause here for just a moment, because what comes next is the part of this message that most people in your situation need the most and hear the least directly. It is the part about why your life has felt so slow, so stuck, so resistant to movement for so long, when the evidence of what God has been preparing for you was always this extraordinary. And it is the part about the divine sequence that has been frozen for a long time, that is now tonight beginning to move. This channel exists because heaven uses voices to find the people it has designated at the hours they are designated to be found. And keeping this voice active and consistent requires sustained resources. If this message has been speaking to the deepest part of what you have been carrying, please support this work through the link in the pinned comment below. Every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Give and it shall be given to you. Not just a verse, a living promise about your future. The link is pinned. Give from the place that just received something real. Now let me tell you why the wait has been so long and why this is the moment it ends. My beloved, hold on with me for a moment, because I am about to tell you something that will make sense of every season in your life that left you confused, discouraged, or quietly questioning whether heaven had forgotten your name. Heaven has been setting up a prophetic timeline for you. Not a vague trajectory, a specific, detailed, carefully arranged sequence of events, connections, alignments, and releases that was always going to lead to this exact moment. Every part of that sequence required the parts that came before it to be in place. And every time something was not yet in place, what was coming was held, not cancelled, not removed, held, preserved, protected in the specific place, where it could not be accessed prematurely, where it could not be taken by the interference that was operating against your path, where it would remain exactly as it was designed until the exact hour when all of the conditions were finally in place for it to arrive safely. That exact hour is tonight. You have wondered why your life has felt like it was moving more slowly, why progress seemed to stop suddenly and completely, why doors would open just enough to create hope and then close again before you could walk through them, why things that should have worked did not work, why seasons that should have produced their harvest did not produce it on the expected timeline. It was not because you were doing something wrong. It was not because you were out of favor. It was not because the promises were not real, or because heaven had moved on to someone else. It was because the prophetic timeline required more time to complete its setup than your patience had budgeted for. And heaven, which sees the full picture when you can only see the piece you are standing in, chose to protect the promise by keeping it in place until the moment when delivering it would produce its full intended result, rather than a partial result that would not sustain itself. Think about the things in your life that you almost got before the timing was right. The relationship that almost happened with someone who would have cost you more than you realized. The opportunity that almost materialized before you had developed what you needed to handle its demands. The door that almost opened into a room you were not yet equipped to navigate. There were moments when what you were praying for almost arrived before you were ready to hold it well. And heaven, with the specific wisdom that belongs to the one who can see your full story, rather than just your current chapter, protected you from receiving before you were ready by holding what was prepared until you were. That same wisdom is what has been operating in the seasons you could not make sense of. The waiting was not wasted. The delay was not denial. Every moment of confusion was a step toward the clarity that is arriving now. Every season of apparent stagnation was the completion of something that had to be finished before the next thing could begin. And now the sequence that was frozen for a long time is beginning to move. Every gear in the divine arrangement of your life is finding its alignment. Everything is clicking into the position it was always supposed to occupy, and the release that was being prepared across all the seasons you endured is now finally tonight, descending into the visible world of your daily life. You knew something was changing before you had the words to describe it. There was a knowing that arrived without being invited, before any external confirmation showed up to justify it. Your spirit was sensing what the prophetic timeline was producing before your circumstances caught up. That was not wishful thinking. That was your soul responding to something real that was already in motion in the invisible dimension. And tonight, the invisible becomes visible. My beloved, my bright soul, your spirit has been getting ready for this moment for longer than you consciously realized. In every season that required more from you than it seemed like it had any right to ask, something was being developed in you that would be essential for what follows. The endurance you built through the long seasons is not just a record of suffering. It is the specific architecture of a spirit that can hold what is coming without being broken by its weight. The faith you maintained when maintaining it cost something real is not just a personal achievement. It is the specific foundation that the next chapter of your life is going to be built on. And now you are rising, not in the way that people sometimes perform rising, announcing it before the evidence exists, positioning themselves for a breakthrough that has not yet landed. In the specific, real interior way that happens when something that was pressed down for a very long time is finally given the room it needs to return to its natural position. When the pressure that was keeping you smaller than you were designed to be is finally removed, and the shape you were always supposed to occupy begins to reassert itself. Your spirit recognizes this, that wave of peace that you feel, that strange pull that told you to stay, that physical sensation in your chest that has no ordinary explanation. Those are the signs of an awakening that is already in progress. Heaven is confirming in the language of your physical body what has already been decided in the spiritual realm. You are being awakened. You are being activated. You are being positioned for the life that was always written for your name. Every heartbeat right now is stronger than the last. That is not metaphor. That is the specific sensation that accompanies a divine activation when it is real. Something that was dormant is waking up inside you. Something that was suppressed is finding its way back to the surface. Something that the long seasons of difficulty pressed down is rising. And it is not going to stop rising once it has started. The activation, once begun, completes what it was sent to complete. You are rising from everything that tried to define you by your lowest moments. Rising from every season that attempted to make you believe you were as small as your circumstances suggested. Rising from every voice that misread you. Every opportunity that passed you by, every door that closed in your face when it should have opened. None of that is the final word about your life. None of it was ever the final word. The final word is written in the scroll, in golden light, with your name at the top, and it says something very different from everything the difficult season suggested. This is you claiming the height that heaven has been saving for this exact moment. Not the height that someone else defined as your ceiling. Not the height that your most difficult season suggested was your maximum. The height that was written for you before your name was known by anyone in the physical world. That height is what Michael is holding in the scroll. That height is what the massive miracle is carrying when it arrives, and it is arriving right now. Type in the comments, I am rising. Write it not tentatively, not as a hope, not as something you are wishing for. Write it as a declaration, as a statement of something that is already true in the spiritual realm, and that is in the process of becoming visible in your physical life. Write it with the confidence of someone who just received confirmation from heaven itself. Write it as the person who stayed when everything in the ordinary logic of scrolling told them to move on. Because that is who you are, and your rising is real. My beloved, you are still here. You stayed through the opening of the scroll, through the clearing of Michael's sword, through the revelation about the prophetic timeline, and why the wait was so long, through the description of the awakening that is already in progress within you. The fact that you stayed through every section of this, that you did not scroll away when staying required something of you, is itself evidence that you are the person this message was prepared for. This channel was built for the person who stays when staying is the harder choice. Sustaining this kind of ministry, reaching chosen ones at their most appointed hours with this level of genuine spiritual investment behind every word, requires consistent resources. If this work has been the voice that found you at the exact hour heaven designated for your miracle to be announced, please support this mission through the link in the pinned comment below. Your support is what keeps this light burning for the next person who arrives here in desperate need of what you just received. The link is pinned. Give from the place that just started rising. Now let me tell you about the massive miracle and what it looks like when it fully arrives. My child, my beloved, I need to speak very directly now about the nature of the massive miracle that is arriving, because the word miracle is sometimes used so broadly that it loses the specific weight it should carry. What is arriving in your life is not a vague sense of things improving. What is arriving is a specific, targeted, detailed, divinely orchestrated transformation of the specific areas that have been the heaviest to carry. Heaven has looked down at your life with the specific quality of attention that belongs to a loving father, reviewing the full record of a child's endurance and deciding that the season of carrying alone is over. Every moment of faithfulness, when faithfulness felt like the most expensive thing you owned, has been counted. Every silent prayer has been recorded. Every morning you chose to keep going when stopping would have been the more understandable choice has been honored. And the response to all of that accumulated record of faithfulness is not a small, token adjustment to your circumstances. It is a massive miracle. The financial dimension of this miracle is going to move at a pace that does not match the logic of your current situation. You will look at what arrives and you will not be able to trace it to anything you specifically engineered. That is the signature of the divine. What you can engineer, you can also explain. What heaven releases over a life does not have a natural explanation. It simply arrives, fully formed, at the exact moment when you have given up trying to figure out how it was going to happen and have surrendered to the understanding that you cannot make this happen by strategy alone. The relational dimension of this miracle is going to bring specific people into your life who carry specific things that belong to your next chapter. Not people who were available before you were ready to receive them properly. The specific people who were held in position, who were being prepared simultaneously with you, who were going through their own seasons of clearing and calibration, and who are now ready to meet the version of you that the scroll describes. These connections are not random. They are divine appointments, and when they arrive, your spirit will recognize them before your mind can analyze them. The healing dimension of this miracle goes deeper than the surface of your circumstances. It goes into the specific places in you that the long seasons of difficulty pressed against, the places that carry the specific grief of having hoped for something and not received it on the expected timeline, the specific wound of having been misread or undervalued by people who should have recognized what you carried, the specific exhaustion of having maintained faith across seasons when faith had the least external confirmation. All of those places are being addressed, not with a surface treatment, with the specific quality of divine healing that repairs at the root rather than managing at the surface. The angels are standing in awe right now at what is being prepared for your life. That is not a dramatic statement. That is an accurate description of what happens in heaven when a massive miracle is being released. They gather. They watch. They recognize the significance of what is happening. And what they are watching is the full, complete, detailed manifestation of everything that was written in the scroll, with your name at the top descending from the spiritual realm into the visible world of your daily experience. Your name is being written right now in heaven's record, as one who is ready to receive. Every second you have stayed, you have been adding to that record. Every word you have read, every declaration you have typed in the comments, every act of faith you have made while receiving this message, is being recorded as evidence that you are not simply hoping for this miracle, but are actively, deliberately, and faithfully positioned to receive it. My beloved, we are approaching the final activation, and I need you to feel this, not just read it. Right now, as these final sections of this message reach your spirit, something is happening that is happening nowhere else in your life simultaneously. Heaven is releasing the final sequence that completes the miracle. Everything that Michael cleared with his sword, everything that the scroll released as it opened, everything that the prophetic timeline had been building toward, is now arriving at the specific point in your life where it was always supposed to land. The massive miracle is not approaching. It is here. It is in the process of materializing, of translating from the spiritual dimension where it has been held into the physical dimension where it will be lived. That process is what you will experience in the next hours, days, and weeks as sudden movements, unexpected arrivals, specific confirmations, and undeniable evidence that heaven moved on your behalf in this very hour. There are still movements happening around your life that you cannot fully see yet, but now you are starting to feel them. That shift in your environment that you have been sensing without being able to explain. That change in the quality of your thoughts that has been arriving without a clear external cause. That sensation of something coming together that you have not yet been able to name, but that feels unmistakably real. These are all signs that the final activation is occurring. That what was being assembled in the invisible world is landing in the visible one. Your breakthrough is not only getting stronger, it is getting locked in. And I want you to understand what locked in means. It means that the specific conditions that were required for the breakthrough to arrive safely and sustain itself, once it arrived, are now permanently in place. It means that what was designated for your name cannot be redirected away from you again by the same forces that previously managed to delay it. The clearing has been thorough. The interference has been removed. The scroll has been unsealed, and what is inside it is now in the final stages of arriving at its designated destination, your life. This is not a message that you found by accident. This is not a stroke of luck that you happened to encounter something relevant on a day when you were looking for something encouraging. This is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He extends his hand. He invites you into the specific alignment that makes receiving what is coming not just possible but inevitable. The sacred principle that governs this is simple but life-changing. Stay aligned. Keep your spirit positioned to receive. Do not close what is open. Do not disconnect from the prophetic stream that brought this message to you. Every future message that comes through this voice will carry another piece of what heaven is assembling for your life. Stay in the stream. There is one final act of faith that heaven is asking of you before this message closes. Share this message with 3 people. Not 2, not 1. 3. The number of completion, manifestation, and divine presence. When you share this with 3 people, You are not simply passing along content. You are starting a threefold cord of blessing that connects 3 lives to the same prophetic stream that just changed yours. You become the instrument through which heaven finds 3 other people at their own appointed hours. And what you give in that act of generosity returns to you according to the specific principle that has governed giving since the beginning. Multiplied, amplified, and flowing back into every part of your life. When you share, know that your breakthrough is getting stronger, your miracle is moving faster, your alignment is getting locked in deeper. The act of blessing others in your own moment of receiving is the most powerful spiritual act available to you right now. Take it, share it, watch what God does in response. My beloved, you are almost at the final words. You received the announcement about the scroll and what it contains. You heard Michael's sword clearing every obstacle from your path. You understood why the wait was so long, and why tonight is the appointed night for the sequence to begin. You received the description of the awakening and the massive miracle that is arriving. You have been activated into the final sequence before the last words. I want to make one last request. This ministry was built to find you at the exact hour your miracle was being released, and to make sure nothing kept you from recognizing and receiving it. If this was that hour, if this message did what it was designed to do, please support this mission through the link in the pinned comment below. What you give at the close of a message like this, at the threshold of the breakthrough that was just announced over your name, is a seed planted in the most sacred moment available. The link is pinned. Give from the place that is ready to receive. Now let me give you the closing words and the final seal. My child, my beloved bright soul. These are the final words. You did not find this message by accident. You were not browsing and stumbled upon something that happened to seem relevant. You were directed here. Your spirit recognized this message before your mind had processed the title. That strange pull that brought you here, that would not let you scroll past, that kept you reading when the ordinary logic of distraction said to move on, was not your own will acting alone. It was heaven guiding you to the specific moment that was already designated as the moment of your breakthrough. The scroll is open. Your name is shining. The sword has cleared the path. The prophetic timeline is in motion. The massive miracle is arriving. And the version of your life that was always written in golden light is stepping into the world you live in. Your plenty is not in some future that you have to wait for indefinitely. It is waiting at the specific threshold that this message was designed to walk you across. The step you took by staying, by receiving, by declaring, by aligning, by not scrolling away when every other distraction competed for your attention. That step was the step, and heaven has registered it. Here is what I need from you before you carry this into the rest of your life. Like this message right now, when you press like, God's favor confirms that you are ready. You are not pressing a button for a channel. You are pressing a button that is your energy signature, your agreement, your amen. It lets heaven know that you honestly received what was sent. The flow of divine favor begins with this action. Do it now. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Sign up right now. This is not a small thing to do. Heaven has been setting up a prophetic timeline for you. When you subscribe, you are telling the universe that you are not drifting or wandering. You are fully rooted in the flow of divine revelation. Every message that comes after this one will land on ready ground. Your name will be marked in heaven's record as one who is positioned, aligned, and expectant. Subscribe now and do not let the enemy break the connection. Share this message with exactly 3 people. Not 2, not 1, 3. This is the final act of faith that completes the threefold cord. When you share from this place, from the place of someone who just received a word from heaven and is sending it to 3 others who need it, you are releasing a breakthrough from your own life into theirs. And what you release in generosity multiplies back into you. Share now. Let the blessing flow. Watch as God works in ways you did not expect to help you. And go to the comments one final time. Write these words, I am rising. Write it boldly. Write it with the full confidence of someone who stayed until the end, who received what was sent, who chose faith over distraction, who declared over and over that they were ready, that their path was clear, that they received the miracle that was always written for their name. Write it as the seal. You are not leaving this message as the same person who opened it. Something has already shifted. The activation is in progress. The miracle is in motion. And the scroll with your name in golden light has been opened over your life tonight. Your plenty is waiting. Walk into it. It was always yours. And Archangel Michael says, well done, you stayed. You received. Heaven has marked your name. The countdown is over. What was coming has arrived. Walk forward, beloved. Your abundance awaits.